What's up, Ragin Nation? How's it going? This is Alex, and you're watching The Road to Beast Wars. This is just a web series. We're talking about the production of Transformers Rise of the Beast. This is episode number 37, and you've seen the teaser trailer. Now we're going to do a trailer breakdown or trailer analysis, and we're going to do it shot for shot. I know you guys have been waiting for it, so let's just jump right into it. First shot is this establishing shot of the jungles of Peru. It just tells us at some point in time the film is going to take place here. All right. Next up, we got New York. We got New York cityscape, and we know that they did do some second unit exterior filming of New York, but when they were shooting on the streets, they actually did that in Montreal, Quebec, Canada. So it's going to be interesting how they portray New York using using Montreal. So that'll be pretty cool. But a big chunk of the film, I'm pretty sure, takes place in New York. Moving on, we're just going to jump right into the action. We got Optimus Primal presenting himself to our two protagonists for the first time, played by Anthony Ramos and Dominic Fishback. And he's beating his chest. Like, what an entrance. Okay, of course, Optimus Primal got to make a grand entrance. I believe they're meeting for the very first time. And what actually makes me, it catches me kind of off guard, like, is Anthony Ramos's physical reaction to this, and then he's going like this. Like, what does he intend to do with his hand? He's gonna tell him, "Stop! Take it easy! Calm down!" So that's pretty funny. Of course, Optimus Prime jumps right into action, and he's there to protect the humans. And he presents his arm cannon in front of him, and tells him to stand down. But then Ron Perlman, or the voice, or rather Optimus Primal, tells him, relax, okay? Take it easy. I'm not the enemy. Well, he doesn't say that in those exact words, but that's the general idea. I mean, look at Optimus Primal. I think he looks great. You can see the Maximal emblem on his chest, and you see all them. You see that it's a really great combination of organic and metal. I think they really did a great job with that. You see all the metal lines, and then the even the shape of his face. Like, you can obviously see that's a gorilla, but they did the right combination of making him look organic and robotic. So that's really cool. I think the design is perfect. And I love this wide shot where Optimus Prime is facing off against Optimus Primal. What a great shot. This makes for a really good like banner. Okay, if you can get this in a full 4K HD, a screenshot, you can put this as your wallpaper on your computer. I think that would look great. Anyways, let's get a closer shot of Optimus Prime. He's got his giant arm cannon. We've seen him use his arm cannon in the past, or have we? Have we seen him use his arm cannon? He always uses a gun. Yeah, he always uses his rifle. I don't remember him using his arm cannon ever in the films. Even in the Michael Bay films, he always used his rifle, as far as I can remember. So it was pretty interesting to see him pull out an arm cannon. The last time I remember any arm cannon being pulled out was from a Decepticon, I believe, or a Bumblebee. Bumblebee has an arm cannon. Anyways, this is very, very interesting. And another thing that you notice is that he looks different. He looks very, very different. We knew that they were going to make changes to him, and when we saw the Optimus Prime vehicle, like when they were filming, we saw shots of the truck. We noticed that there's more silver on him, or at least there's more gray. And now it's very, very evident because, like, there's way less red on him. There's more silver and metal colors as opposed to red. Even those shields, those panels above his windows, like, those used to be much smaller and red. Now they're silver. So they made some changes to him. Oh, okay, see, look at this shot right here. Definitely looks different. He looks very, very different. I'm going to have to make another video doing a side-by-side comparison, but yeah, he definitely looks different. I'm not sure if I like him or I don't like the changes, but we'll do the comparison later. I like this shot here. It really tells us something. You see the lights blinking back and forth, and I'm thinking, just from seeing that, it just takes us back to classic G1, where the Decepticons are sucking out resources from the earth, whether it's like from a power generator or from like a mine, or from from gas, but in this case, perhaps Decepticons or even Terracons are looking for energon and or looking to produce energon, and thereby doing that by sucking electrical resources. You know, the from a power plant maybe, and that's why the lights are blinking. That's my theory. Oh, I love this shot. I mean, we saw Optimus Prime with this trailer at the end of Bumblebee. Now we're seeing Optimus Prime roll out on a bridge. So that's really, really cool. I love shots like that. And this was really exciting. You know, as much as some people can say they're tired of seeing Bumblebee, it always gets me. You know, it always gets me seeing that transformation. And this is a really clean transformation. This is a really good looking transformation. You see all the parts go somewhere. It's all done in a single take. And it's just really flawless. And I feel like I gotta watch the transformation in some of the Michael Bay films, because it definitely looks different for sure. The way he transforms, but we'll take a look. There he is. He's almost fully transformed. So yeah, it looks pretty cool. That's Bumblebee right there. Oh, this shot of Jazz is beautiful in the parking lot. He's just waiting there, a robot in disguise. This is truly a robot in disguise. Obviously, Anthony Ramos doesn't even know that he's getting into an Autobot. What's very, very interesting is that I'm just gonna go under the assumption that that's not his car. Like, yeah. So I'm wondering, how does he come about getting this car? Like, does he steal it, or does the door? Was he walking by and does his door just open and he's like, oh, I guess I'll take a look and see if the keys are in the ignition. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously they aren't, because it drives itself later. But I'm just wondering how he comes across getting this car. I just have a feeling that he's just walking in the parking garage, and then suddenly the door opens. That's what I'm thinking that happens, because like that's not his car. And then of course the classic shot of the Autobot logo on the steering wheel. We got to establish that. Police, NYC police, tells him to pull over. Right? He says, "It's driving. I'm not driving." Classic. And this is a really cool shot. This is, this is kind of reminds me of in Dark of the Moon. The Bumblebee is he's transforming while the passenger is inside it, but this time he's doing something functional, and that is he's turning it, rather than turning the whole car around, he transforms around. So that's a really cool idea, and I love that once the car just starts opening up, you can see all the little details, like inside you can see whatever that is, like some kind of a turbine, but like those little details are really cool. Anthony Ramos is going like, what in the world? Like he's having the same reaction that I was when I was seeing this happen. And of course, this is classic Mirage. Look at this. He's using his hologram abilities. That's why when I saw it happen, I just freaked out. So that's so cool that they brought back that ability. You know, that's a classic ability of Mirage. And then look, we got five Porsches. Now it makes me wonder, like, what is the New York City police wondering when they see suddenly five Porsches? The identical vehicle appears. But that's such a great scene. It's such a great it's a great functional way to use his abilities and just demonstrate things, demonstrate his ability, and for the G1 fans, right? Just to see that in live action. Great scene, great shot. Now, speaking of great shot, this is great. We're seeing off-road Bumblebee, still a old Camaro, but in an off-road version, and I'm just wondering how he comes about becoming this. So does he scan like an off-road vehicle, and then suddenly these parts start appearing? How does that happen? So that's going to be really interesting. But Cheetor looks great. Now we know the size. I was always curious about the size of these of the Maximals. Now we know the size. And when you see Autobots roll out, okay, and the music comes on, whether it's dun, 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 or the Revenge of the Fallen music from Steve Jablonsky as they're rolling out, or in Dark of the Moon, they go Autobot victory, Autobot victory. Once you hear that score and see Autobots roll out, you feel goosebumps, right? But this is something entirely different. This is Bumblebee rolling out with Cheetor, and Cheetor is just, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's so awesome. I love it. It looks so good. That's really, really exciting. Oh, this is great. Air Razor just blowing up a bridge, and if you look closely, you can see Optimus Prime, or I'm pretty positive that's Optimus Prime, just at the beginning of the bridge. Now, I'm wondering if the Maximals and the Autobots are fighting at that moment because they don't know and understand each other, and they don't know if they're threats, or is this something that is something that they planned, and that is to Optimus is supposed to get across the bridge while Airazor blows it up. Who knows? Yeah, she's really blowing up this bridge, really taking it out. Next up, we have Jazz rolling out, and then there's a giant. Somebody threw a giant like boulder, and in the back, I think that is Optimus falling down the hill. But I kind of feel like there's another robot behind him or around him. And then, okay, so we have Jazz rolling out. We saw Optimus fall down. There's another car, I believe that's Bumblebee in the back. And then there's another robot that is another character that is falling down because Optimus already fell down. He was in the background, but now there's another robot. I don't know who that's supposed to be. I'll have to watch that again. Now, this is great. Battle Trap is I'll have to watch the teaser trailer again. Is he going forward or backwards, or I can't remember. But he's shooting a missile. I believe he's shooting it out of that whatever you call that on the top of his hood. I believe he's shooting it out of there. And this scene, I think this is my favorite shot in the entire teaser trailer. Okay, RC rolling out, holding on to Wheeljack, and then dodging the missile, and dodging it in style, by the way. The missile goes through the open door of the Wheeljack's van, and I'm sure it blows up on the other side. And you see a close-up of RC's face, and then you see the battle visor, which is super cool detail. Okay, then she starts blasting away. So I'm wondering if they did a spin move, you know what I'm saying? And then it just blew up in the background, and then she pulls out her gun, starts blasting away. Like, that is definitely my favorite shot. And you know what's really, really cool? I'm positive she just walks around like, like left foot, right foot, left foot, right foot, and then when it's time to fight, then she puts on her roller skates. You know what I'm saying? Like, she puts that on, and then she could roll out. And so it's not always there, but then later on when she needs to use it, she rolls out like Sideswipe in humanoid form or robot form. Oh, well, definitely my favorite shot. I'm really, really loving this, what's going to happen in this scene. Okay, now this is interesting. I don't know what's going on here, but we see Optimus Prime, and then I believe that's Scourge. This is our first look at Scourge, and then Optimus Prime's in trouble. He's falling down this whatever this thing is, this hole, this hexagonal hole. It could be Cybertron related. I don't know, because I remember Cybertron having all these hexagons everywhere. But anyways, Scourge is about to take him out. Bumblebee's about to save him, and then look what happens. Scourge, he reveals his claws, and then he turns around and just impales Bumblebee. Okay, and that was quite a blow. And I don't know what the fate of Bumblebee is, but I'm positive he's still alive. That wouldn't make any sense if they killed off Bumblebee. That's ridiculous. That would never happen. Okay, but as long as we're really invested in the characters, when we see that, we're gonna go, oh my god, that's crazy, right? Here's a follow-up to the beginning scene where he beats his chest and he says, I'm the one, not the enemy. And then he explains, like, we do a little bit of a, what do you call that, exposition. He's talking about, zillions of years ago there were the Terracons, and then they're terrorized people, the people of the earth, or the dinosaurs, whatever, right? So that's that's Optimus Primal explaining to Optimus Prime about all the stuff. Okay, let's take a look at another shot. Oh, okay, I forgot to show this one. So obviously Bumblebee's not dead after that impaling, because here's Scourge. He's holding on to Bumblebee, and obviously Bumblebee's still alive because he's holding on to Scourge's forearm. So he's trying to he's holding on for dear life. He's not making sure that he can stay alive, because if he was dead, his arms would be down, right? There's a wide shot of that happening. There appears to be this is like a battle just took place. Look at all this fire. There's, there's car parts in the front, in the foreground. We have we have Scourge and Bumblebee here. Optimus is at the bottom, and I believe that's Battle Trap to the right. Okay, moving on. We have Jazz closest to us. We have Optimus Prime to the right. We have RC. We have our two human protagonists, and then we have Wheeljack in the very, very far front. Okay, in the very, very back rather. And that's our very first time of seeing him in robot mode in the entire teaser trailer. Okay. Here's a cultural festival going on in Peru. There's going to be a battle taking place later on, or like a chase. Okay, here's Rhinox. Now, here's what I'm really curious about. First of all, design looks great. Second is that, does anything shoot out of his mouth? Because if it does, then won't he blow his tongue off? I was thinking of that. Because, when I see a mouth lighting up, I think about, like, the Dinobots, because they, like Grimlock breathing fire, right? I don't know if anything shoots out, but if it does, how did they explain him not blowing off his tongue? In any case, maybe nothing shoots out. Maybe it's just a roar, right? Like a battle roar. Next up, of course, we got to have the hero shot. And by that, this is a Michael Bay production, okay? And Michael Bay started this whole Transformers thing back in 2007. And there's always a hero shot. And that is, of course, your 360 going around your heroes, whether they be humans or, in this case, Transformers. They transform while the 360 is done. It's done this time, even though it's directed by Stephen Cable Jr. And here's the interesting part. Now, this is where, when I saw this angle really captures the look of, I'm just going to go out and say this, but Orion Pax. For some reason, when I see this, it really reminds me of how he looked before the Great War, okay? And I think that might have been intentional. I don't think that was accidental. I mean, look at that. That really has a Orion Pax look to it. So I think it's the way the eyes don't look so aggressive at that moment. So yeah, this is really, really cool. And keep in mind, Stephen Cable Jr. is a fan of G1, okay? 3 protoforms arrive in New York City, okay? 3. This is happening at night. You got 3 of them, 1, 2, 3. So who could they possibly be? Terracons, okay? Battle Trap, Nightbird, and Scourge. They're landing right in the ocean, so nobody is going to even notice, because they're not going to blow anything up. Unlike in the Michael Bay movies, they always, once the protoforms come, they always got to like make a grand entrance and blow up a building or an aircraft carrier or some kind of tower. They're going straight into the ocean. That way nobody notices that they arrived. Or at least they don't damage anything. Here's Optimus Prime with his cannon again. This time in a different location. At first time we saw him in a like a jungle. Now we're kind of in a mountainous region of Peru. Oh, I love that little detail there. See the Autobot logo? Look at that. Optimus just looks great in this. Now, here's, of course, something very, very interesting. His battle mask does come off. His faceplate does come off. And it's kind of like, I think in this case, it gives us a good balance between the Travis Knight universe, the Knightverse, and the Bayverse, right? So it establishes that this is still in the realm of the Bayverse. Just like I said before, Bumblebee works as a standalone. It also works as a prequel. In this case, we're going to keep on continuing it as a prequel. And this takes place before the Shia LaBeouf or the Sam Witwicky era. This is something that is part of the same universe, and therefore that's why Optimus can remove and put on his face mask. Okay, but because we're gonna see him in battle. The parts that matter the most to us is when he's in battle mode, and that's why the mask comes back on, and it looks really, really great. I mean, look how cool he looks with his mask on. Battle Trap. Okay, I did not expect them to show that much of the final battle. I didn't expect them to show like a big chunk of the sequence. I'm sure the final sequence is much bigger than what we saw, obviously, But this looks like the beginning of the battle because they're just running at each other. Battle Trap running, guns blazing. He's being shot at. Look, he gets shot. But then what's interesting is that you also see other robots in the background. I believe that is Nightbird. I believe Nightbird can fly on the left side. But then between Nightbird and Battletrap, there is I'm just gonna say this a Terracon minion. Okay, I believe that's a Terracon minion, and there's another Terracon minion on the right side of him. I believe there's two of them. Yeah, I kind of see the silhouette of two of them. So which just means that there's more than three Terracons. The three main Terracons, the ones with names, are Scourge, Battletrap, and Nightbird. But of course, you have to have, just like in the Michael Bay films, you have to have Decepticon drones. You have to have those KSI drones, right? It's just because Autobots and our heroic robots need something to kill and need something to fight without killing off main antagonist characters, right? So you have to have these Terracon drones. So that's what we're gonna have. Let's see. And what's cool is that, like I said before, like these guys can take hits. Battletrap's been shot at a couple of times, but he still stands. He's a pretty strong Decepticon, and that is exactly why you'll see what happens later on. Here's Cheetor. This is cool. He runs up, jumps over that hill, and then he transforms. Okay, he transforms while doing a flip into robot mode. It's pretty cool. Then Optimus Primal does the same thing. He jumps, he rolls, and then he becomes the robot mode of Optimus Primal. But here's what's really interesting. Okay, there are several robots here. Okay, we got Optimus Primal obviously in the foreground. We have on the right side, that's Optimus Prime. He's got his blades out like he does in Transformers Revenge Fallen in the Force fight. But I don't know why. This one really reminds me of Transformers Prime. It's got some kind of Transformers Prime aesthetic to it. Rhinox is just underneath the blade. I don't know who that is between Rhinox and Optimus Primal. I don't believe, like, who could that be? It doesn't look like Cheetor to me. I really don't know who that could be. It's obviously not Wheeljack. Wheeljack wouldn't look like that. That would be too weird. I mean, Wheeljack should look like his G1 counterpart, like the way he would look in G1, at least in robot mode. Okay. Look how cool. See exactly. So Wheeljack's on the left side. So who's that on the right side? It's gotta be some Maximal that we don't know about. But in any case, I love that Optimus Primal goes into robot mode and pulls out these blades and he's ready to fight. But there's our other look at a Wheeljack on the left side. Look at this. He looks great. He looks really, really cool. We got this is interesting. So I don't know who that is. Oh, I guess that's Nightbird on the top right. RC is in the background and Optimus Prime is also in the background. And then we also see, someone else here aiming his gun. It could be Battletrap. And then once we get closer, as this shot progresses, then we have that's Optimus Primal. Yeah, that's Battletrap. They're gonna lunge at each other, and then they're gonna collide. This is a great shot. Yeah, that's right. They're getting closer, and then you see in the back here, there's more these Terracon drones running around, and finally they collide, and then Battletrap is strong enough that he can go up against Optimus Primal, and his blades don't even shatter his forearm. Okay, so that's how strong Battletrap is. He's not just any Terracon. He's not just any Decepticon. He is a full-on hardened warrior that I think you should worry about. So even though there's only 3 Terracons and a lot of Maximals and Autobots, these guys are strong. So I'm really, really excited to see them fight each other. Now, the one thing that really is, I won't say bothering me or making me wonder about is, where on earth are they? Where exactly are they? Something tells me, I'm just going to throw this out here. I'm totally like just throwing this out here. It's a wild theory, and that is some time travel was involved, and they got brought back to the time of the dinosaurs. Like, and then this is the Terracon spaceship, okay, and that's where all these minions came from. You know, these Terracon minions, they came from this ship, but they went back in time, and that's what I'm thinking. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I mean, why not, right? Then finally we get the logo. We got the Maximo logo, we got the Terracon logo, then the Autobot logo. And then this is a great shot of RC. We got Dominic Fishback, of course. There's always going to be a scene where humans are like, this is not happening, this is not happening, this is not real, I must be dreaming. So, of course, we have that scene, and it adds for a comedic moment. But I love the way RC looks. She looks perfect. And so what's really interesting is that you see the wheels on her back, like her shoulder blades. So that's how she is in her robot mode, but somehow the wheels ended up on her feet in battle mode. Okay, so that's an interesting an interesting detail. Finally, Jazz is rolling out. He transforms. Anthony Ramos, I almost said Anthony Mackie, casually comes out, and look at Jazz. Look at that. Look at Mirage, okay? So that, like, if they really wanted to capture Mirage in robot form, I think they did a good job, because look at that head. I was mostly concerned about the head shape, and they got the rounded off head shape just like how Mirage does, and he looks really, really good. Now two things here I want to mention, okay? This must be right before the third act of the film. Here, allow me to explain why I believe that, okay? Anthony Ramos comes out of Jazz very casually, okay? It's like he's done this many times, where he's able to get out of the car in like just a second, less than a second before Jazz or Mirage transforms, okay? So that means that they've established a friendship with each other. They've established like that he feels safe enough that he will come out of his car while the car is moving, and then Mirage transforms. So they feel comfortable enough to do that. So that's why I believe that this is much, much, much later in the film, and I believe it's right before the third act, right before they fly to Peru. The reason why is, if you look in the back, I believe these are to the left. I believe these are wrecked plane parts. I believe these are wrecked plane parts, like a boneyard. You know what I'm saying? So while we're on the topic of planes, well, who's a plane? Who's an Autobot plane? Stratosphere. Okay, so I believe that the Autobots are gonna meet here, whatever this place, this boneyard, and then Stratosphere is just hanging out, and that's why we don't see him. We don't see him in any part of the film, or at least the trailer. And I believe that they are going to meet Stratosphere, and then they're going to fly off to Peru. So that's what I'm thinking. So this is right before the third act of the film, because it has to be much later, because Anthony Ramos' character feels comfortable enough with Jazz to be able to perform a stunt like that. And so there you have it. All right, so that is my trailer breakdown for the teaser trailer for Transformers Rise of the Beast. We got way more videos coming. After watching the teaser trailer, I have a lot more to talk about, not just this breakdown. There's a lot to discuss. So this journey is going strong. We got a lot to talk about. We got a lot of videos before we get to June 8th rather, because they always release the film a day before the actual release date. So there's a lot to talk about. Stay tuned for that. I'm very happy that you're back here with me along for the journey. It's going to be one hell of a ride. We're talking about back in the days of Transformers Dark of the Moon, the journey to Age of Extinction, and the journey to Transformers Last Night. We are back, baby. Transformers back. It never left, and so am I. My name's Alex Yu. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time. Peace.